Life. Hello, hello, Michel. How are you, my friend? First of all, thank you for coming, and let's have a nice talk today. We are talking about bikes.
Yes.
That is very good because we don't see it so oft here in the channel, and I think that is very sad. We want to have more e-scooters and we want to have more e-bikes. First of all, tell us a little more about your journey. How do you start it? What was the first thing that you used in the beginning? The first electric device that you use it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it started off very simple. I was always riding bikes and scooters, regular bikes and scooters, my whole life. I started riding bikes when I was 4 years old. I got my first skateboard when I was 8,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, from there I was diehard on anything with wheels. I was doing a lot of stunts and stuff on scooters and skateboards for a while, and after taking a lot of damage from doing all of that, I decided to move to just going fast. So I was always that guy to get on a skateboard and ride down any hill you could point me at, and getting an electric skateboard was the next best step. I
Mm-hmm.
did have one of those Razor electric scooters, the little ones for kids, and that was awesome. But here you see, oh my god, man, this skateboard was the death of me. I hated that thing, but I loved it at the same time. It was $800, which
Uh-huh.
at the time was an insane amount of money for me. But then on top of that, I kept breaking it, and that just seems to be a trend for me. Is just breaking everything. I broke the skateboard multiple times, crashed it, got it wet, and after, realizing how much money I put into that, I decided I would make the investment of getting a boosted board. So once I got the boosted board, I got that need for speed, going fast. I was just really enjoying that, getting around the city. It felt great. But, a trend, something that we'll touch on later is potholes here in New York City are just insane, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So after falling and getting hit by multiple cars on that electric skateboard, I decided I wanted to do something that was safer. But I had gone to a couple of group rides, really, really small group rides, and I wanted to get in on the experience of riding an e-bike. I got to try other people's e-bikes, but they were nothing like where we are now. Um, Eventually, after riding the boosted board for a long time, I decided to sell it. I was able to get all of my money back, which was amazing. And I took that money and bought a TV with it. But then later on,
That was a big change, my friend. Huh?
you gotta set them up. But eventually, I finally, once the pandemic started, and I think the pandemic is a huge catalyst for a lot of people. Um, I there was no doubt in my mind that I couldn't be that guy to sit inside all the time. I had to go outside, and I was riding my boosted board. I sold my boosted board maybe 3 months into the pandemic, and then in May was when I put in my pre-order for the Super 73 RX. Um, Man, that I didn't realize it at the time, but that was a life-changing decision. Getting that bike really changed everything for me. This is a great video because this is one of the first videos I ever made about the bike.
I
Um,
think the other ones you have is when you was talking about buying it.
yes, exactly. I
You
made.
have the same one like me. I have the same one here in my home.
Oh, really
The
nice.
same the same color.
That's the best color in my opinion.
Yeah,
The red
that
is
was.
beautiful. But I didn't know what the hell I was getting into.
Hmm.
I was just buying it because I thought it looked cool. $3,500 was a lot of money for me,
Hmm.
um, but I knew that I was just going to make it work. And um, where I live right now, I actually have to bring it up a couple of flights of stairs.
Hmm.
So it was really difficult to do that, but I made it work. Um, and after riding for a couple of months, maybe 2 months by myself, I started to really, really want to reach out to other people. and I started making all these YouTube videos. And sure enough, I was getting a fairly consistent audience on my YouTube videos. And, I didn't have very much else to do. So I enjoyed making the videos. But people started reaching out to me. People were emailing me or
But
DMing me.
Michelle,
Yeah.
when you started, was lots of riders, or uh, you was like a lone rider? Was
Two
starting
things.
to?
Two
Huh?
things. You're saying my name with a French accent, which is hilarious. Just call me Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, we would say Michael,
Hmm.
but Mike.
Michael is,
Yeah,
is like you, Mike. Is no problem.
yeah.
Rios is like Portuguese too. I'm
Ah,
from
there
Port.
you go.
Is no problem, my friend. I can speak because I'm Portuguese. It's not a problem for me.
That's awesome.
So
Um,
please.
yeah. So I didn't know about the community when I first got the bike. I didn't know that there was already a community, but there was. The community had existed for a really long time, maybe like 3 years prior, and there was a lot of people, but not a lot of organization,
Hmm.
really. So everybody was just kind of doing their own thing. Um, it's funny because in my very first day with the bike, or no, my third day with the bike, I ran into somebody else with an e-bike, and I took down his number, I got his name, and we didn't interact for a really long time. But then, by meeting this person, meeting this person, meeting this person, I got
Hmm.
back to him, and now he's one of my best friends. Um, you know,
That is the other thing. You live in New York. New York is one of the, I think, one of the big capitals of the world of PVs.
yeah,
Uh, uh,
absolutely.
and you, that's why it was was very important for me to bring you here, because you live in a city that the e-bikes are very strong today. That's why I think, and making this friendship change something for you, my friend.
Yes, it opened my eyes to the helpfulness of people. This video that we see on screen right now was my attempt to take the stuff that I was struggling with, and once I did find the information, I wanted to put it out there for the people in my position,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I think I'm pretty good at. I'm a teacher by trade, so
Mm-hmm.
naturally I'm good at explaining things to people,
Mm-hmm.
but for the e-bikes, there were so many different things that I didn't know. So I tried to make it a point to learn things and then try to pass it on to other people. And I got to see how many people also did that. If you need help changing your tire, there's somebody you can call. If you need help changing anything, there's somebody you can call. But
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't what it was like when I started. When I started, everybody was keeping their knowledge to themselves. Most people didn't know anything beyond just basic bike stuff. Um, so I made it my goal to try to get to know everybody that knew something, and then form a group of people that can cover anything. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you buy a bike, what's the worst thing that you think of? You think of it immediately failing. You think of like you take it out day one and now it just won't turn on. What do? Right? You're gonna ship it back to California? That's gonna be terrible. Or in some cases, ship it back to China. So
Yeah.
I really wanted to be able to have and become the thing that people would tap into when they got an e-bike naturally, just because they wanted to have that community behind it all.
Yeah, but seeing like, yeah, like the first day riding this, I'm going to put you this way, because then we're going to come more, because you do lots of DIY projects,
Yeah,
and I think it's important for us to talk the money that you expend in this machine, the 73. That is. First of all, we don't want to mess with the guys who love the 73, but do you think today, with the experience what you have, and with the experience that you have in this time, the money that you pay, and today that you make your DIY machines, do you think it's better for us to create a DIY machine or buy a new one?
That's a fantastic question, and I feel like that's it's like a PC. You know, like people who build computers. It's the same question: do you buy one or do you build one?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's always going to be. It's always going to lead to building it yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, hands down, it's always going to be best to build it yourself as final product. But the experience, the getting to that point is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I said this in one of my last YouTube videos where I was
Mm-hmm.
working on a project that I have.
Yeah, I was seeing the project.
Yeah,
Behind it.
I actually have it right here next to me. I brought it just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, this thing.
Yeah. I was. That is the.
I said that I can't imagine somebody sitting down and spending 5-6 hours, you know, back to back on something like this if they didn't really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally really, really enjoy all of this. I love the problem solving of it all. I love the, you know, creativity of it all. But I can totally see why somebody would be very turned off by all that. I can totally see somebody saying that is not even close to what I want. I just want to get on the bike, make it go. If
Mm-hmm.
something breaks, I give it to somebody else and they fix it.
Okay, you and me, we are in a different position because you have a place that you can fix it, and lots of people who live in apartments or small spaces, and it's difficult. That I understand, but I think, like we are talking, I think the people, everybody, we're talking about for our community. I think sometimes it's good for you to know a little, as a little of knowing what everything works, how everything works.
Absolutely.
That's why I love your channel, because you do it yourself most of the time, like life, like a normal person is doing, you are doing the same way. That way we see, like here you see, I see it how you cut it and you make some mistakes, and that is the reality that everybody's going to have. But in the other way, I see it like that is a way that the people is not going to be ashamed of themselves, because they say, look, he made it, he showed it, and that is not a problem, because then we see is the end product, and you made it yourself.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who get stuck on the end product, and it would be really easy for somebody to look at my current bike, look at all the gear that I wear and stuff like that, and think like, oh my God, this guy, you know, either he spent $10,000 all at once and got this thing, or somebody with a brain or two, a brain cell or two, could think and realize like there's a trial and error here. And I love that you said that. You know, I really appreciate the compliment on my channel. I really try to make it all just videos about things that I like. And right now, I really love bikes.
Mike, you don't understand one thing. I'm not making a compliment from your channel. I'm telling you because I like to see people creating and putting public to everyone, and don't don't change too much the video for the people to see that is what you are seeing is the reality. And I see lots of videos in the internet that I see everything beautiful, and in the end the people has one illusion. And then when they come to the reality, they say, oh, then they think I'm not good like the other guy. And the other guy, he has maybe a struggle more than the person who was trying, and he has is just is not real. And that's what I that's why I think your channel is good. Is not because I'm not making. So first of all, for everybody, like always, guys, I always tell this: we are not making propaganda. Nobody's paying us nothing. That is everything free. I think the people who comes here to the lives, they know how is my idea to run these things is like this. I don't know him very well. I have today is the 280 interview with riders from the around the world, and I was looking to your videos and I was saying that, wow, you have so many videos showing to the world how you can do it. And I think the people have to see it more. That's why I say, is the link there, guys? Go there, subscribe. And maybe if you have a question or if you have an opinion or if you can help him, because I was seeing in your videos that you leave questions. Hey, guys, if you have another thing, can you tell me? And that's community.
Yes.
That's what I call community.
Yes, I totally agree. A lot of the videos that I do put out, my very first video trying to customize something on an e-bike was my headlight, and it worked, and I got a lot of compliments from people who see it passing by or see it parked on the side and they look at it for 2 seconds. But anybody who spent more than a couple of minutes just actually looking at it, anybody who saw the video could see that I was just throwing it together. It was built on duct tape and the worst kind of things to actually use on a bike. But from that process, I learned, and I had people come up to me and tell me like, "Hey, this is a better way to do this." I have a couple of friends who work on e-skate stuff. Jeffrey is one of my good friends who always reaching out to me and saying like, "Hey, I really like that switch that you used there. Check out this one." Or if you're going to use a switch like that, you want it to be waterproof. Here's a better one. Different connector types, different wiring methods, and it's all a learning process constantly, which I love.
Putting this way, now you are creating a new machine. You are putting everything together. I think for every one of you guys have to go there and see it. All the videos from him, the machine is mounting. I think there is lots of videos out there, but we're going to show it later on. But it's like this. I'm going to ask you this way. Do you think in the future you're going to create some machine maybe to sell it? Or is your intention now with this machine, or what you have now in the moment, maybe to later on to start to sell it?
So coming from a background with Arduino programming, everything in Arduino is open source. And there's a couple of projects out there that I've taken inspiration from that are people building stuff quite like how I do it, in front of everybody. Just, here's day one of me trying it. Did it work? No. See you in the next video. And then, you go through that until you have a bunch of videos, and then you finally have a product that works. And then you realize this was the worst way to do it. Now I'm going to make a new version. I do plan on having stuff to sell. Ideally, the way that I would be able to make money in the future is by making stuff and people want it, and then I can, make it available for anybody, in other parts of the world. They can buy the same parts. They can watch my video and build it themselves. If you're really that kind of person.
Open source.
Yeah, open source. But if you're that kind of person that says, I want that final product, but I don't have the skills, here's the money, you do it, I'm totally open to that. So
I think that is great.
Yeah, my goal is to really keep refining what I have now until I get it to a point where I feel like it's finished. And that'll probably be never. But
my friend, I'm going to try to put it this way. E-bikes, we are about 4 years that start to be like a machine. Like 4 years, we seeing, I think the 73, then the Sohon, and what's the other one from
the Onyx?
The Onyx too, and then now there is new companies coming. I think that is very new. I think if you use this opportunity now to grow up, everyone who start now and start to do crazy things, your name is going to be in a list of everybody who going to know you later on. I think the guys who started now, they're going to achieve very easy. Later on, I think then it's going to come the Chinese companies or is going to make parts and everything. Then it's going to be difficult for the new guys. I think you are in a good position to create your channel, to create maybe a website that you can put it open source, or if the person wants to have parts on later on, maybe you create your bike. Or you can, or you can make it like I always tell to everyone, sell a bike for parts, and everybody can create them themselves and mount it at like they want it. I think DIY is the best thing that we can have in New York. Most of your friends that you ride, is any of the bikes original?
Stock, like untouched?
Mm-hmm.
Hardly any. If you come out with a stock bike, it's because you just got
Buy
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you just got it. Like the first thing you do is put something on it. You can buy grips or pedals, pegs, something to make it not stock. And there's a reason for that too. Something that people don't consider in New York City is if you have a plain stock Super 73, when it finally gets stolen, how are you going to differentiate it?
Yeah.
You're going to see somebody rolling down the street with the same bike. And, my goal with my Super 73 from the very beginning was to make it impossible for somebody to take my bike and say like, no, this is mine, bro. Yeah.
And today, how do you see? I'm putting here. So, guys, what you are seeing is Instagram, is Facebook. Then we're going to talk about his friend, and then I'm going to leave all the links for you guys. But how do you see? What do you prefer today? Big group rides or more with your crew and having some fun?
That's a fantastic question, and it's changed for me. In the very beginning, I used to love seeing more and more and more people, but that was because I started with 2 people, and then it turned to 4, and then it turned to 7, and when it got to like 10 people consistently, I was really really happy. But then from going from 10 to 15 took a long time. From 15 to 25 took a long time, but then from 25 to 50, 75, 100 people took no time whatsoever. It's really, really easy to put together a huge group ride here in New York City, but it's really, really hard to keep it consistent. To have a good experience, to make sure that everybody's safe, to make sure that everybody's having fun. So, would I rather have 15 versus 50? Definitely 15.
Okay.
I have a very solid crew of people that I can trust, that know me, that I know them. But every now and then, it's really fun to have a huge group of people. And there's nothing, words can't explain when you're riding down the street and everybody's looking at you, and then you look over your shoulder and there's 75, 100 e-bikes behind you, and they're all looking at you. And they're all looking for you to make the next turn, you to make the next decision. There's so many times where you're on these huge rides and you need other people to be on your side, but there's always going to be that one person who's really calling the shots. And the more people you have involved in the ride, the harder that gets.
And the S3 crew, how did that started, my friend?
It just, the very first person I met, his name is Josh, who was riding on Onyx. We were riding, and we started riding with a couple of other people, and he pretty much almost killed somebody. He ran a red light and almost mowed someone down. And we called him the body snatcher because he's gonna snatch your body. And we started giving people nicknames and stuff. And then we were like, they said to me, they were like, Mike, the way you keep riding, you're gonna kill yourself. You guys are gonna kill yourself the way you ride. And we were like, yeah, we know exactly what we're getting into. We do this on purpose. We have fun. And I actually posted a couple of videos on TikTok. I don't really promote my TikTok anymore because everything keeps getting taken down because it says that I'm promoting dangerous activity.
Yeah.
So eventually, one of our friends, he's the founder of S3 with me, Oscar. He came up with the idea for, normally in New York City, there's the Super Squad, which are the Super 73 riders. But we kind of got blacklisted by Super 73. They don't want anything to do with my content. They've actively told me that they, aren't going to make good on my warranties anymore. So we called ourselves the Suicide Super Squad. And that became S3. So it was kind of like a big middle finger to Super 73, to the people who try to ride safe and slow. It was more like, oh, we're different. And of course, there was already people out there who were way faster, way crazier than us, but we were doing it together. And that was like the squad part of it all.
But don't you feel that is sad because you was a Super 72 rider before you started with that, and then be banned maybe by a bunch of people? Not maybe that is not so many. That is just one part of persons who decided to say, okay, we don't want this guy. We're going to shut him. I don't think that is fair. I think. We have to change the mentality, and believe it or not, the guys, I have the 73, and I don't think that is nice to judge persons and to ban persons just because you are riding a little faster than the other ones. I think that is wrong. I think is ways to treat everything, and you're going to find guys riding very fast. Although I was watching last week a group ride from the Soran, and that was close to 150 riders. And that was like crazy, guys. But I'm not the person to judge these guys, and I think they have to judge themselves. But I never would like to see someone bend. I think we have to think about. We are friends, we are a community, and we have to work together. And maybe you can share with the group and say, today we're going to have a chill ride. Guys who wants to go fast, go another place. And next day we're going to have a fast ride. Then everybody can go, or doing crazy stuffs. I think everything we can work it out. And I think that is not fair to do that with you. I don't think that is fair. Sorry, my friend. Sorry to heard about that, but let's continue to put a positive energy. Tell us a little more about your new baby. What you are doing.
Wait. Before we get to the new baby,
okay.
Somebody in the comments just said a very important thing too.
That is yes.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's about getting PEVs banned in urban areas, and that is a huge focus of us here in New York City. Just to touch on, is it fair? Everybody's entitled to do whatever they want in their group. I'm not going to show up somewhere that I'm not wanted. And, I always bring positivity. I will always bring respect. And I was doing that from day one. The people who were in charge of the rides here in New York City for Super 73, I got along with them pretty well. But, because I had my own group of people, I had enough influence to where I didn't really need to go with their rides. I just enjoyed it. I was a supporter of the Super 73 community from the very first second I even clicked purchase. I was the reason that many people bought a bike. I had a coupon code for Super 73, and it would notify me every time somebody used my code. And I had more than 30 people purchase a Super 73 because of me. So if you did the math on that, 30 times 4,000, that's a lot of money I put in their pocket.
But you have to think like this, my friend. I understand, but everybody can say whatever they want. I'm a skater. I make one wheel. I have bikes. I have everything, and I always listen to the same thing. Everybody says, "Oh, we're going to go easy," and then when we start to ride, most of the people forget about the reality, and that is with every sport, with car, with motors, and everything. So you have to have the responsibility of your actions. So if you do something wrong, you're going to be. Listening. I was seeing a video last time from the guys from LA, because was a Sauron that was with the problem, and every time the guy touch it and put it on, he started, and he was he don't have no control from the machine, and he hit two times one guy, and later on this guy start to punch him, and I think that is not the right way for us to do it, and we have to see why that happened. And I was very sad to see that the community sometimes don't react in a positive way and say, okay, you are doing something wrong, stop it, or we have to change. No, sometimes the people are afraid to lose one guy and put the other ones in a big mess. I think everybody's free to do whatever they want, and I don't like to see nobody bent or saying you are a bad guy, you don't come.
Yeah.
And if you ask to the other ones, do you think he's a bad guy? Everybody say, for me is no problem, but for this guy, he said no. For me is I don't want him no more. He makes the judge him and then put you the sentence and said, okay, I don't want no more. And I think that is not fair. I don't want to make no drama here because of that, but sorry to hear about that. I was not aware, because you have so many videos from this Super 73,
Yeah.
and you make so propaganda for these guys, and New York is so a big city. I don't think, first of all, you don't need to ride with him. New York has so many riders and good riders. You don't need that.
So what ended up happening was, as soon as we really started having problems with the management, I guess you can say, of the group, it was pretty clear that it was one-sided, like you're saying. You know, one person feels this way. But as soon as I said to a couple of other people, hey, I'm thinking about hosting my own rides, everybody's response was, tell me when and I'll be there. And sure enough, our very first main ride, we had like 50 people show up. And it never went down from there. From then on, it was just bigger and better. So I think leaving Super 73 behind is sad, but I don't regret any of it at all. I enjoyed all of our rides.
But tell me something. Do you leave 73? Today you have a different machine. You are riding a different machine.
I still have my 73. And I still love it a lot.
Yeah, but putting this way, because I don't like to make this video big. I think the most important thing is for us to share the information. I would love, first of all, we see that you make everything yourself, and I would love to show that. I think you are creating a big machine. I know that you have a 3,000 watts motor.
Yeah.
But you want to make the 5,000 watts motor. And that is 72 volts?
Yes, 72 volts, 80 amp controllers, Sabaton.
What are you using as battery?
It's so that the battery is from Powerful Lithium, 72 volts. It's in 2 packs. So I have the main pack, which is 42 amp hours, and then I have a 13 amp hour pack on top of that. So, you know, speaking about all the bad of Super 73, the good that came from that was when my bike did finally break down on me, the good guys at Spark Cycle Works hit me up. I already had a great relationship with them. You know, I've done rides. I hosted rides for them here in New York City and brought a lot of attention to their stuff. But they said we know how much you've done for Super 73. So we want you to ride for us.
Okay.
So we got together and we put together one of their bandits. Spark Cycle Works
Mm-hmm.
makes a product called the Bandit,
Yeah.
and it's an e-moped. It can go 35 miles an hour right out of the box, and with a couple of tweaks, you can make it way higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a lot of fun on that thing, and pretty much what ended up happening was I became a prototyper for Spark Cycles. They gave me new pieces of hardware to test out, all kinds of different things like the battery blender. I was one of the first to have a 52 volt and 48-volt setup at the same time. Um, I broke the hell out of everything. I kept breaking this, that, and the other thing, and then they would repair it, make it stronger, and then push those updates out to everybody else who had a bike. Um, and eventually, after riding the Bandit like crazy, we decided we're ready to go to the next step. And I hit up Powerful Lithium to build me a new battery. They build the batteries from scratch here in Jersey City.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then after the battery was made, we found the right motor. We started with the 3,000 watt just because everybody was telling me that the 5,000 watt wasn't that big of a difference. So I wanted to get a 3,000, ride it, enjoy it, and then if I found it necessary, upgrade to the 5,000 watt. And just, as a what I'm recognizing is that it's not that big of a difference. I
Mm-hmm.
ride with people who have 5,000 watt motors, and as long as the power of the battery and the controller is the same, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to get pretty much the same performance. Um, so the wattage of the motor isn't really what matters. The
Mm-hmm.
volts is what gets you speed, and the amps is what gets you that oomph, that power, the torque.
It's
Um,
made in New York.
so no, Spark Cycles is in Connecticut.
Okay.
They're just above us in New York. So there's Connecticut, New Jersey, and New
Mm-hmm.
York. That's the tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Spark is in Connecticut, Powerful Lithium is in New Jersey, and then I'm in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a collaborative effort, lots of moving back and forth. We got the bike powder coated. Um, we bought all the components slowly over maybe 2 months. And after some painstaking effort, we finally got it up and running. I wrote it in its like naked form. That picture that you have on the flyer is the bike like completely naked. You could even see that
Mm-hmm.
one of the panels isn't even on there. The bag in the center is custom made by good guy Rob, is Vinyl by Bobby on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
He made that bag for me, and it was the first bag ever made for a Spark Bandit. So everything on this thing is the first.
Mm-hmm.
The swing arm was created by Spark Cycles because I kept breaking the other one. Um, so I was able to push the other Bandit to go 55 miles an hour downhill in the right
Mm-hmm.
situation. Um, but I was hitting a lot of potholes while doing it. And we just figured out everything we needed to upgrade, and now I have an amazing bike. I'm very very happy with it, and there's still so much more to come.
So I see that you use the brakes, the Modura. Uh, do you think you're going to update, or they are enough? This is the 7 or that's the 5?
I use the 5, the Magura 5,
Mm-hmm.
MT5. I have the MT7. I bought, so this is another example of me buying uh, stuff just to test it out. I bought the Magura MT5 and the Magura MT7, and I put the 7 on the back of my Super 73 and the 5 on the front of it. And, just over the years, I don't see a huge difference. Um, so I think you'll be
Of
finding
price is a big difference.
price is a big difference. Yeah,
Oh
very
yeah,
big difference.
I know that.
But I think the 5s are more than enough. Most people would agree. I got the 203 millimeter rotors,
Mm-hmm.
which you definitely need, the floating rotors. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan on upgrading. I don't plan on changing. If I do change anything, I might put a second rotor
Mm-hmm.
on my front, but that's unnecessary, really. What I am doing is adding regen braking. So,
Okay. Yeah,
re-
that I see in a video too.
yeah,
You want to
regen
do it.
braking is going to be my next step. I think I haven't had very many situations where I didn't feel like the braking was enough, but going from 35 as my top speed to now touching 60, I definitely need more braking power. So I'm going to have regen braking installed very shortly.
Yeah, I think that is going to be very good. I think it's going to be good for you guys to have like you are showing. I was very interested about the suspension what you are using. Uh, is that good?
Eh, so the
Is a little old timer or?
Yeah, that those shocks are the one up from the stock shocks that come on the Bandit.
Uh huh.
The ones that just come with the basic model Bandit are good,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll do anything you need. But once you start really going fast, you want to know that your shocks are good. So the ones that I have there are one step up. But at this point, I think the weakest point of the bike is the front fork.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels too flimsy. Um,
Okay.
there's a little bit of flex in it. If you're going really fast and you hit the
Mm-hmm.
brakes, you can notice that the front fork kind of flexes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the next big change and something that we're already working on, we have a couple of guys with CNC routing
Mm-hmm.
machines, and
Mm-hmm.
we are going to make our own custom front fork, and that will be something that we're going to be selling.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to make a reinforced fork. It's going to have more mounting points for lights and stuff like that, and it'll just be stronger and better, more customizable. Uh, because everything else that's out there right now is either a Fox 40 and it's going to cost
Mm-hmm.
you $1,500,
Yeah.
or you're buying something from China that costs $100. So there's no in between.
Yeah, but it's good that your friends has the CNC. I hope that they have a good one because the CNC is a game changer for everyone. That way you can create lots of things, guys, and that is then a big update for doing lots of good stuff, creating for all of us.
Yeah.
Because like me, I'm a guy who have my machines. Most of them they are everything changed. I don't have nothing original. I don't like to have nothing original. And when I see good parts in the market to buy it, that I can update my things, I love to update when the product is good. And if you guys has that ideas, I think it's going to help a lot the community because lots of people don't have the time, like we start in the beginning when we start to talk. Lots of people don't have the place to do it, and I think you guys can save lots of persons who love to update and put upgrades to the his machines.
Yeah.
That's why I think this. But in the beginning, we was talking about a person. I think it's time for us to talk about him. Who is this person? First of all, I just want to say, guys, I'm going to leave the link here. There is more things here. You can go and see it. I'm going to leave there the link and go there. Don't forget to subscribe and give a like and maybe put your question. Who is this person, my friend?
Yeah. So Frantic TV has been, the love child of Felix Mariano for a while. He was just some guy, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know him personally, and he was just kind of an outside person watching in on the rise of e-bikes. One day he showed up at a group ride, and there was a lot of different stuff going on at that group ride, but he got his own opinion of what the group ride scene was, and he made a YouTube video about it. He was claiming that this person was the king of New York, and this person was in charge of this and whatever. And it was really funny because that video was like a joke to everybody who was actually in the scene. Everybody was like, "No, this person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know this person. They don't know." So eventually, we started hanging out, Felix and I, and we got to meet a bunch of different people together. and he told me that his goal was to infiltrate the e-bikes city or scene
Mm-hmm.
and get to know everybody and then document it because it was his opinion that it's going to explode. And
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, he started running a couple of ideas by me, and we came up with this shit here. We got a lot of different, you know, serious videos. E-bike news was the
Mm-hmm.
first thing that we started together, where we wanted to give updates on what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Really highlight the creativity, but also make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Richie, who's on screen right now, he does the weather reports and he does his own stuff for
Mm-hmm.
Frantic TV. But it's kind of like a conglomerate. It's one big channel where we can put all of our stuff. We have a couple of videos that highlight big group rides, big events. There's a lot of smaller updates in the mix. But right now, because it's off season, there's not a
Mm-hmm.
lot to post. Once the weather gets nice again, that's when we're gonna really start getting active. Um, but yeah, Frantic TV is going to become the face of New York City e-bikes, and it's going to be the place to tap in for anything that is going on.
So, Francis, you're going to be the next one to come here and talk a little more about your channel. We're going to try to contact you. I think the important thing is for us to have people like the two of you, and thinking about the community,
Yeah,
because that way we can grow up. And you are seeing another that the person is telling here. Yeah, it tells everything that the third parts makers and AC stuff is always good. Is always, my friend. If we have more and more guys doing that way, but you're going to have so beautiful machines
yeah.
out there.
I think about it like F1 racing.
Mm-hmm.
In F1, they're always pushing the boundary for
Mm-hmm.
that half a second difference. They spend millions of dollars to develop a part. But for us, we're trying to get that one extra mile per hour, that little bit of torque off the line. So the more brains that you put on the job, the more dollars that get put into it, people are going to be very happy. Um,
I think it's like this, my friend. If you do it for love, I think you're going to achieve it. I think I love your channel. I love it the way you do it because you are not fake. I hate fake YouTube channels.
yeah,
Most of the time, I don't see it. I don't like the guys who make reviews and say everything is beautiful
yeah,
because they want to receive a new board or a new bike or a
yeah.
new thing. And sometimes they don't have respect for the community. And that's why I think we need more channels like your channel. His channel, I'm going to see it a little more, but if you tell me it's good and he's thinking about the community, I think that is the important thing. I'm going to be the first one to share and talk about it. I don't like channels who make reviews or make fake things and tell lies to the people and say everything is beautiful, and I don't like it. I don't want it, and that's why I don't have. If you see my interviews, it's just with riders, not with companies.
Yeah.
If it's a company that I see, okay, you have a product, you can share the information. I'm not going to say that is good. I'm just going to share it for the people to know what they're going to get. And if the people want to make questions, they do it. But most of the times, I don't like to make interviews with the companies because I know what is going to happen. I don't want to bring false information to the community.
Something funny is on my YouTube channel. I've had my YouTube channel since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, you have lots of years.
yeah,
I see it.
I have a
But
YouTube video that I posted a long time ago, and it's me when I was like 12 doing a review of a gaming chair, and it has like 300,000 views, and it's mostly because it's very real. It's in the middle of my mom's living room, and I'm
yeah, I
talking.
see it. I was looking and I said that is very nice.
Yeah,
Propaganda. So
and
we are making free propaganda.
yeah,
So yeah,
it's
this
great
is good.
because everybody's opinion in the chat was like, this is real. This is exactly what I was looking for. You know, I don't want to watch these.
Hello? Hello?
And all of the things that I point out, you know, this breaks. You can't do this. If you hold it this way wrong, it's gonna break.
Look at you.
Yeah. So I have a lot of time making videos that show a product, and consistently throughout my channel, the biggest thing that I've been doing is just breaking everything. And if a company gives me their product, it's because they know I'm gonna break it. It's just how am I gonna break it? Like recently, I've been waiting to do a review on Invoxia GPS tracker because it saved my bike. It really did. It's the reason I got my bike back when it fell off of Richie's truck. But the thing broke, and it just stopped working. And I reached out to them, and they said, "Oh, we're not covering that." So now I look forward to making a YouTube video about the product that saved my bike and why you shouldn't buy it.
Yeah. That's what he tell is the truth. That he is telling here is telling everything. I prefer to listen to the community, and the community tell me, hey Nelson, that is good, that is bad, that I think is not good for. And the community, they are not going to lie, because it's the people who expend the money.
Yes, exactly.
We have to work hard to buy the product. And for the people who receive it to make reviews, for them is very simple. And they know if they talk bad about the other company is not going to give it anymore. I know that because my friend, like here in the channel, I can tell you how many people reach to me and tell me, Nelson, do you want to make reviews? And I say, I don't make reviews. I don't make it. Yeah. I have a friends, I test it, I give it to everyone of the community. I have a board here in my home that one company from Portugal sent me, and I tell it I can put it here for the community to test it, but I'm not going to give you my opinion because I think it's not fair, and the people is going to say I have the bias.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like if a company gives you a product, they're not, or at least they shouldn't be paying you for your for the video. They should be paying you for your opinion.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to hear your opinion, then they shouldn't have given it.
The companies don't want it, my friend.
Exactly.
Mike, the companies don't want it. They don't want it. They just want, or you speak positive. I know lots of guys today channels. I have one guy in was one of the big YouTubers. His name was what's the name now? Jay Boston. And it was a guy who was with 60,000 followers, and he was doing all the stuff for skateboards and everything. And one day he made a mistake to give his skateboard to another guy to try it. The other guy was from other company. He talks bad about the product, and then all the companies said, "Okay, I'm not going to give you." I'm not going to give you any more boards. And today's channel. His channel is like you don't see it, nothing.
Wow, that sucks. That's not fun.
Yeah, but that is the problem, my friend. The companies don't want to be. How can I put it like this? The companies don't like for you to tell the truth about them.
Yeah.
They want for you to tell what is the interest for them. If you tell everything is beautiful, they're going to be happy and they're going to say you are the best one. When you talk bad, they say all the companies is going to, because most of look, I'm going to tell you like this. Most of the companies, the parts comes from one factory, like the motors of skates.
Yeah.
And most of them is going to say they're just going to change the name. And most of them, they're going to, or the motors from AUCs, or the motors from... e-bikes.
Yeah.
Most of them, they come from the same place.
Yep.
And then, if you talk bad, the company is going to say, "Oh, we're not going to have it because we have to put them out." And that's the problem of. I see most of the guys who make reviews, and I said, "Guys, I know that is very good guys there who try it, but sometimes it's difficult for them because then they have to go to second." like go to you and say, can you give me your bike for me to make a review, because the company is not going to give it.
Yeah.
The company is going to say, hey, I don't have interest to work with you, and that's the big problem. But for me, my important question is like this: when you plan to make this official, to start to make parts and do most stuff, do you have a plan? What is the plan? Can you share with us?
So without putting too much out there, because obviously, there's a lot that I can say, and then there's actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I already think that right now where I am, the only reason I am where I am, which is, I'm still just some guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
always going to be just some guy. But people come to me now because they see that I am about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to have a company. I don't know what it's going to be called, but the company. S3 is always going to be there. Nothing will take it away. I could say that it's closed and it's still going to live on. I know that it's a thing now and it's its own living entity, which is beautiful. But I want to have a mod shop. I want to have a place, a workshop, a building where people will bring their e-bikes and be able to work on their bike. People will be able to buy parts. There'll be a person there to meet with and say, hey, here's my brand new Super 73. What are my options? And, we'll have example bikes. We'll have photos and, custom built parts. I can 3D model things. So obviously I can say, we can put this button panel on there, but we can make it look like whatever you want. My friend Manny, he's been doing a lot of decal work. So he's been making custom stickers, and he's been doing that for a while now, and he's making a killing because nobody else is doing it. So stickers, T-shirts, custom, team merchandise is going to be a huge market. But that's all just the salt and pepper on top of it. What people really need is a place to go where they can hang out and just talk about the stuff that we always talk about. So this summer, S3 is going to be having all of our weekly rides like how we always have been. Every single week there's going to be a ride, and throughout the week there will guaranteed be many people out most days. But now we're going to have a parent company for S3, and it's going to be a legal way for us to start fundraising. I don't know if you got to see, but we actually had 2 huge community barbecues. And the community barbecues are a fantastic example of how people really want to get together. Me and Richie, just the 2 of us practically, we went out and we told everybody in the community, on this day at this location, which was already a pain in the ass trying to find a location for it, we're going to have a barbecue. All you have to do is put in $10 and we will make sure that everything is set for you. And we raised $1,000 each time we did that. It was amazing to see the community outpour. People, small companies were giving us money. People were giving us 10 times the amount that we asked for. And we were able to go to the supermarket, buy all the stuff, bring it, tell other people, bring more stuff, bring more drinks. And it was a community effort. Now imagine what it would be like if we had a centralized location where we could charge, eat, sleep, talk, build e-bikes. That's going to be the goal. And the first step towards that is going to be the e-bike ambulance. We're going to be getting a van, and we're going to be filling it up with tools and chargers, and we're just going to be able to drive around New York City. And the van is going to live in different boroughs on different days of the week. If you need the ambulance, for now, it only lives in Manhattan on Mondays and Wednesdays. So it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be a subscription based thing. So it's gonna be the warranty for your warranty.
It's like a patron.
Yeah, exactly. AAA.
Yeah,
that's what we call it.
You can put it in like 3 types. You can put it standard or the premiums and then the gold.
Yep, gold member. Oh, you're a
Oh, yeah.
gold member, so
Yeah,
we'll show up to you.
I think that is very good, my friend. I think that that way you can have the community more together. Uh, that way you guys can grow more and be all of them more active and more present.
Yeah.
Because that way everybody wants to work and help and feel safe.
Yes.
There is a problem, it's going to be fixed.
And that's
And
getting back to this person in the comments question about getting banned, PEVs. So here in New York City, there's a huge push to get EVs banned. And a huge part of it is safety. People don't understand safety. So we want to have classes where we can talk to the community about safety. Why are batteries exploding in people's houses? Why e-bikes are safer than regular transportation? That there should be a push towards making bike paths more safe, that there should be bike paths specifically for e-bikes. So there's going to be a lot of political stuff to come later on to try to, combat some of that negative press we're getting. But I think what we need to do is focus on making everybody happy first. Once there's a thriving community of very happy people, it's going to be hard to paint us as hooligans and criminals.
how is that with the how is the relation? How do you see the relation for you guys with the police in New York and around New York? Is good till this moment or is changing?
Well, like everything in New York, if you are minding your own business and being respectful, people don't care about you.
Okay.
You might as well be invisible. If you're not, making things extremely dangerous, like running red lights, most of the time you can run a red light in front of a cop and they won't do anything about it. As long as you're not, cutting it super close or dodging through people, riding on the sidewalk, doing wheelies through traffic, people have their limits. And so far, the cops are very respectful to us. If they see us, they just let us be. They know that we're going to be gone before they could even say anything. They know that they can't catch us. They know that they can't chase us. Literally, they legally cannot chase us.
But don't you see that now maybe you're going to have maybe more electro bikes with the police too?
Oh yeah,
Maybe that.
we have people in our crew that are police officers. We have former police officers as well. And it's weird. It's weird for them. But our goal is to have a better constant relationship with them as opposed to
No, but the way I'm asking is like this. Like here in Europe, we have now the A bikes. Most of the A bikes that the police are using, they go more than 50 k's. They are prepared to say, okay, if you go fast, I can go faster against you.
yeah.
Don't you think maybe in the future you're going to see in New York maybe police in the streets, maybe with big A bikes after you guys then?
That would be really cool.
Because I'm telling like this because if you see I like in the beginning when we start this is everything very new from the A bikes. Now is in the last 3 years that explode around the world, and more with you guys in LA, in New York. New York was always the capital of everything, of skateboards, of electro skateboards, of now AUCs, now A bikes. Do you have the A scooters? Everything you see it, and now you're having LA is doing the same thing. Then you have Washington is doing a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, we love those guys.
Yeah, I see that you have the videos with the guys from DC.
Washington, yeah.
Yeah, the DC is fantastic. I love the guys from DC. They are very good. And
It would be cool if the cops started getting on e-bikes, but what would be even better is if they started buying e-bikes from us, because like they can go out and buy 10 Surons, and then who's going to be the one that actually makes them capable e-bikes? we are already on the cusp of what's possible. So for them to come even close, they're going to need to talk to us.
Okay, but putting this way, putting like this, do you think in the future, because you are telling that New York is making trying to make change the rules and everything, don't you think maybe they're going to come to you guys and say, like here in Europe they want to ban the 73 and the Sohan? Do you think in the future maybe you're going to see in USA that they're going to say, okay, there is a limit for in New York to ride? Because I was seeing a video from the New York that there was catching all the mopeds and small bikes there.
I have a YouTube video on my channel of us getting caught in that blockade.
Mm-hmm.
So we were one of the first to get caught in that thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they let us go because we had pedals. And
Okay.
pedals is like the loophole. But yes, I do think that eventually somebody's gonna come knocking and say like, we don't like what you're doing.
Yeah. Because I was seeing a video from you. There is I was seeing this video here. That was, I think that is a joke, but what was this here?
So thankfully, this was another example of cool police officers.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a place where we shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Okay.
construction further on. The way that I turned right there, it was
Mhm.
all just construction and a dead end. And
Okay.
they thought that there's people that go over there to do spray painting and drugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he was coming over to check on us, make sure that we weren't messing up the grass and that we weren't spray painting. Once
Mhm.
he saw the bikes, he asked questions. He thought it was awesome. He told us, as long as we're not messing up the grass, then just go ahead.
Yeah,
Um,
that is good.
and that's how most of our interactions go. As long as we're not being, destructive or reckless and endangering other people, then they don't
Mhm.
have anything to do with us.
Okay, that is a good thing, because I see it in the beginning, and that was my question. I was like, oh, because if you don't know, here in where I living, is bikes is not a problem. It's legal. If you go to 25 kilometers, if you go more than 25 kilometers, then you can go till maximal 45, but you have to have a license. So, but the rest, my friend, is illegal.
Yeah, yeah,
Like skateboards, one wheels, AUCs, that is illegal here. You
Yeah.
cannot have it. If they catch you, that is going to be very hard.
yeah,
You're going to have big fines, and that's what I don't want you guys to lose, is your freedom.
Yeah.
You guys are in one country that you have the freedom to ride, and I think that the bikes and the scooter are in a top. I think that they're never going to lose the freedom, but I think that the rest, like AUCs and one wheels and skateboards, they're going to be in a bad situation in
Yeah.
some
yeah.
years.
They're in danger. Absolutely, I completely agree.
And it's very sad, but it's the reality, and that's why I would love to see your bike coming better and better, and that way the people who wants to buy parts, they can come to you guys, and maybe you can create lots of stuff for all of us.
Yeah.
And that way I think you're going to help a lot of our community. It's going to be good for you, because I think you're going to have the chance to create something unique for all of us, and that way the community is going to thank you very, very much, and your community is going to grow and grow. Maybe you can go out of New York or out of USA and come to Europe or around the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you something. When you go out now as a rider, what is the important things for you? What do you use as protections?
So I don't leave without my helmet ever.
You have the Ruroc
Yeah, my Ruroc
Atlas.
4, beautiful helmet. I love it so much. I also have my Spark Cycle Works jacket. It's an official Amphead Society jacket. You get it when you ride your bike for more than 100 miles if you have
Mm-hmm.
Spark Cycles. Um, Underneath that, I wear a couple of thermal layers. I have heated gloves. I have heated socks. I wear 2 layers of pants. I'm almost always wearing a set of sweatpants underneath my work pants. And everybody knows me for my Doc Martin boots. I'm always wearing my I can't bend. I'm always wearing big boots just
Yeah.
because I don't know how people ride in sneakers. Um, my feet get cold really easily, and here in New York City, the temperature is consistently cold until the summer comes, and then it's just ugly, terrible. Um,
It's terrible, guys.
yeah, during the summer, we do ride pretty much naked. You know what I mean? Like we'll ride in shorts and a t-shirt, um, but at
My friend,
least a helmet. At
I,
least a
I, I live in Europe and I live in Germany. I know what you are talking, my friend.
yeah.
Hello, Luis. How are you, my friend? I just want to say, my friend. First of all, the color is fantastic. The machine is beautiful. I hope that you achieve your everything for the community. What you are doing for you yourself, that you create a better machine for all of us. Uh, I just want to say. That was one very nice interview. I thank your channel for everybody's out there. If you are in Facebook, in Twitter, or in YouTube, guys, if you have the chance, I'm going to leave the link there. I think you're going to love his channel of YouTube. I think he has lots. He put lots on the table for you to see it. Is very good. And for me, my friend, was a pleasure to meet you here.
Yeah, same to
Uh,
you.
no, I thank you very much for coming, and I just want to show to everyone before we go. But I'm going to leave you with the last words for everybody. Uh, we're going to have here uh, in 3 days a skate rider is going to come here. He's a crazy one, and he's from Yoko. And then we're going to have this guys that is from Australia. There is a group from Australia. They are doing like you guys. They are trying to be legal in Australia. Australia is illegal for you guys who don't want to know. Just some states I think is legal. And the last one we're going to give it is going to be the LA skates. It's going to be lots of stuff coming, guys. And I'm going to try to bring your friend, the Felix, here.
Yeah,
I would love to listen a little about his story, and I would love to listen about the channel. And for you, my friend, first of all, was a very nice chat. I think you have a fantastic future. I hope that you create lots of stuff. My friend, Joshan is from New York, and I hope, my friend, that you create lots of stuff for all of us. Don't forget, what you are creating is for the community, and maybe not today the people is going to thank you, but maybe they're going to thank you in the future. But like always, I leave you with the last words for the community who's going to see now the video or is going to see later. I leave you, like always, the last words for you, for your community.
yes. Thank you so much for having me on here. It was a pleasure. I really look forward to hearing more people with similar stories like mine, just coming up from nothing because, I always say I'm just some guy. And I really try to maintain that. Please, if you're in the area, if you're somewhere nearby, reach out to me and we will ride together. I love riding with new people. I love making new friends, making new connections, and that's how everybody in the S3 crew is. If you have any kind of problems, it doesn't matter where you're located, reach out to us. S3 Crew NYC on Instagram. Somebody will get back to you. Comment down on any of our videos and we will respond to you. Um, you know, for the future, there's a lot more to come. And I really hope that you can be there and be a part of it. But everything else is, I'm just thankful for what I have.
My friend, I just want to say Thank you for the original YouTube channel that you have. Don't stop doing, create, do stuff for all of us. DIY, do it yourself is very important for our communities. For you guys who are out there, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are, my friend. Just ride, like always, ride fast, but always safe.
Yes.
And
Wear your helmet. Leave no
and,
man
yeah, and your protections. Bye bye, guys.